Hi friends, this is Manish Pandey. Welcome back. Today in this video we are going to learn about shortest path, and this is the one of the important challenge of UiPath RPA. So we are going to see how can we automate this. So first we'll see the detailed walkthrough. You can see the screenshot here that in 180 seconds I have completed this challenge. See the screenshot. This is the RPA challenge shortest path. So first I'm going to show you the website of that shortest path, and I will show you the steps there and what steps we need to follow there, right? And then I will show you one by one walkthrough of this RPA challenge automation, right? So let me open this RPA challenge shortest path website here. So here you can see this is the website, and we have this the second number shortest path. This is the challenge, and these are the instruction. So the goal of this challenge is to create an attended robot. It means we'll have to work with the bot and human. So it means here we have the list of 4 to 5 red colors, and here these green points. So we need to select one by one. First we need to choose a red point and then green point. So one by one we'll have 5 to 6 rounds here, and then we need to get the data from details, and we need to fill that details, and we need to, and then try again. Same here, it has the all this instruction. We need to choose one red point and then green point closest to the supply, and then we need to fill all this data which we are getting from here. So let me show you here. If we'll click on this, so this is for the supply and this is demand. So we'll get all these details here. So one by one we'll capture this data and we'll fill all these details here, and then repeat until there are no more red points on the map. So we have to repeat these steps until there are no this red points there. It means this is the demand. So first we need to start from here. Let me close this here. So first, once we'll open this browser and we'll open this URL shortest path, then we need to click on this start so that we can start the challenge. So once we'll click on this start, it will show the round. So first time it will show round 1, second time round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, like this. And once it is finished, it will show you here finished, and you will get your the point, the success rate, like in this minute or in this second you have completed this challenge. So first challenge is here. Once we click on start, sometime what happens, it doesn't allow you to click on the start. So first you have to refresh again. So once you refresh, then you can click on the start. Sometime what happens, whenever we open this website, we do not get these red points and green points here. So again for that we need to click refresh, right? So we need to click refresh until we are getting these options and we are able to click on this start. So once we click start, so you can see here I clicked on this start, but all these red points, green points has been gone here. So again we need to click refresh. Now we'll be getting here. Now again we'll click start. Now you can see once we click on start, we are getting round 1, and after that we have this all this form. We need to fill all these details here. So first we need to choose one demand, and then we need to choose one supply which is close to that. So we have this one, so we'll select. Now you can see here right side we have the demand details, and here we have the supply details. So one by one we need to capture all these details, this name, address 1, address 2, shipping date, and all these details, and we need to fill all these details one by one here in this form. And then same way we have to capture supply data from here, and then fill here in the origin supplier. So it means we have the multiple supplies here, and based on that the nearest demand here we need to pick that and we have to supply that, right? So same way we have to capture and fill all these details, and once we'll submit the form, we'll get one contract number and then we can create that, right? Same way we can fill one by one. Now let me close this, and I just want to tell you that how many steps we need to follow in this shortest path. So you can see here I have divided this project in multiple workflow. First we need to start the challenge. So this is the first step, first workflow, where we need to open the browser and click on the start. Second, we need to choose one rate point, that is select demand. Third, select supply, it means click on this any green point. Fourth, get demand details. So first we'll get all this demand details, and fifth, we need to get the supply details. So what here I am doing, I am first capturing all this demand details and supply details, and now next I am filling the demand details and then filling the supply details. So once we are done with all these things, we need to click on this submit. So this is the steps, that is submit form. So I have divided this project into 8 workflow. So one by one I will show you here. So let me open UiPath Studio, and then first let me show you the demo. I will give you the overview and we'll see one by one. So here I have created this project. Now let me run this, and you will see first it will open the Chrome browser and it will open this URL, and then you can see setting up 80% zoom here, so that we can a board can look into all these details here. Now the round 1, and it shows that choose demand rate point from map and press OK. So I need to click on this rate point and then OK. Again choose supply green point, OK, and then press OK. Now it will click on this page down, it will go there, and then it will start fetching the demand details and the supply details. So one by one it will fetch these details and start filling the destination demand form and then origin supplier form. So the main challenge here, left side you can see we have the demand labels, that is name, state, city, address 1, zip code, cargo, address 2. So these are the labels, and these are the images. So these are the scanned images. We need to capture that images using OCR. So basically when I was trying to capture all these details, these labels only, like seat preference and cargo preference and all these details, I was facing some issue, but somehow I did something in that project, and now I am able to capture all these details, right? So you can see next to the ship preference we have the enclosed, next to the cargo preference we have urgent. So these details are easy to capture because these are not images, these are not scanned images. Only the challenges with this labels. Now this is the third round. You can see again we need to, right? So one by one we are filling all these details here, and then we are getting the contract number, and then after clicking the submit form it shows the another round. It means we have 5 to 6 rounds. So we are trying to fetch all these details here. You can see it is filling all this correct data here in the all these forms. Basically I am not looking for the time it is taking to process the RPA challenge. I am just looking for the correct data, so it will fetch the correct data and fill the correct data in the destination demand and origin supplier. Now it is round 4, and you will see one more thing here. after filling all these details, we are getting a contract number, right? So we need to fill that contract number also here. And now this is the fifth round. Let me select one RAID number and then okay, let me select, oh sorry, let me select this. So here it is going to check if we have any other RAID points available or not. So once we'll complete with the round 5, we'll be getting a success rate with the time it has taken. Okay, so it is done. Now you can see the success rate. Your success rate is 100%, 5 out of 5 rounds in 233 seconds. So we took around 3.5 minutes or 4 minutes around, right? And now also you can see in the first round, matched point on the map is correct, 16 filled correct, contract number correct, final reject correct. In the all this round we are correct. That's why we are getting here 100% success rate and 5 out of 5 rounds in this much of seconds. So you can also do this here, and now you can see we are getting finished here. So basically let me show you here one thing. When I was going to capture these details, you can see this is the image, and here you can select this data. It means this is not the image. So I'm able to capture this details using getText, but here this is the image, and most of the time we are getting issue while fetching these labels. And sometimes this cargo is here on the 4th number, zip code on the 5th number, shipping date is on the last number, and this cargo preference on the first number, right? So every time the position is also getting changed. So let me show you here one by one. I will show you here. We have the invoke start challenge walk. So let me open this, and here I am opening the browser with this URL, and then using send hotkey I am pressing the control 0. So what will happen with the control 0? It will send this hotkey to the Chrome browser. Let me open this here. Okay, so currently you can see the zoom is 80%. So once we'll send this control 0, it will set this 100%, right? So first I'm doing this, and then after that I'm pressing a send hotkey 2 times so that it can press control minus. So here I'm putting control minus, so it will be 80%, so that I can capture all these details here. Now I'm putting here the retry scope here. You can see one by one the retry scope I am putting here to click on this start button. So as I already to click on the start button, so what happened once we click on this start, it doesn't allow you to click on start. Sometime nothing happens when you will click on a start. So for that, once we click on start, the round 1 doesn't start. So for that we need to click on refresh here, and then it allow you to click on this start, right? Sometime what happens, all this red points and green points moved away, so we need to refresh that. So that's why I am putting this refresh in the retry scope. First it will click on start, it will check here if it has the round 1, then it will go next. If it has no round 1, then it will restart, and first it will click on this refresh here. Now this is just the challenge, start challenge. Now here I am putting this complete round in 5. So we are checking here red points less than equal to 5. So our variable that is a red point is first one. So first we are checking with the 1 point, and you can see I have checked with most of the times that we have only 5 red points. So that's why I am just taking the 5 rate points. So we are checking rate points less than equal to 5. So first time the rate point will be 1. So 1 less than equal to 5, yes. So it will enter into this sequence. So first time, taking this workflow to select the demand. So let me open this workflow and show you here. I am showing the message box here to choose the demand rate point from map and press OK. Right, so it will show the message box to user, and user will go and select this demand here. And now once user will select this demand, then they will have to press OK on the message box. And then in the retry scope, I am putting here this condition. It will go and check if it has the name here. If it has the name, it means the user has selected this. If user has not selected, will not be getting this name. So what will happen? It will retry one more time. So I have set this here 3 times after 0.2 seconds. So it will retry one more time. It will show one message box to the user to choose that rate points. So once we'll select this, it will move to select supply. So here again we are doing the same things. We are putting the message box in the retry scope and checking for the name here. So here we'll go and click on this green point, and once this name is there, then we are moving to another step. Otherwise again it will go and check and then show the message box. After that we are going to get the demand details here. Let me show here. And in the demand details, first what I am doing here, as you can see here, this name demand and details, this is not the the scanned images. So that's why first every time I am just capturing these details. First I am looking for the find element, and the position of this name also same. This will not be changed. Every time this is on the first number. So using anchor base, first I am checking for the find element. If name is there, then I am capturing this name using get full text. Right, you can see here I am capturing this name. Which name? This name. And after that our challenge starts. So here you can see I have taken this click image to click on this contract. So you know why I am taking this the click image to click on this contract? Because I tried to send this page to down using send hotkey, but many times, sometime it was working fine, sometime it was not working. So what I did, I took one click image option. So what will do, it will click on this contract, and then using send hotkey I was able to send this page to end. So I was able to press the end button. So what will happen, once we'll click on this, then it will go to the end. But if I was not clicking here, so it was not going, this page was not going to the end page here. Now here I am checking for the counter less than equal to 11. It means I can show you here using UI Explorer. Let me show you. Click on this indicate element, and I'm clicking on this address 2. So you can see the table row is third, because this is the complete table, and this is the first row, second row, and third row. So we are going to get the data from the third row. So now you can see here, if we need to fetch this, the last one, so the last row will be 11, right? So our counter will be just 11, because we are just going to the 11 number. Now I have taken this try catch here in this while condition. I am checking the first counter will be 3, because you can see the table row is 1 2 3. So because we are going to start from here, so the counter will be 3. So I have taken our counter age first time 3, right? Now let me open this try catch. Let me move here, and then I have taken one attached browser, and then first I am setting this demand found equal to true, and here to fetch this label like address to and this cargo, I am using this get OCR, and then using Microsoft OCR engine I am trying to capture all this data, these labels only. And then here you can see this is the selector, that is the tag table, and the table column equal to 1 and table row equal to counter. So one by one the counter, it will start fetching from that counter 3, because we have set the counter 3, the default value is 3. So it will start fetching the data from the third row. Now we are this scale we are putting a not the hard coded value, we are using a variable to increase this scale. So here the problem is, sometime what happens, we take one screen scraping, and you can see we have the 5 rounds. So sometime if we are trying to capture using the OCR scale 1, then this time is working fine, and if I'm going to check this cargo, it's fine. If I'm going to check zip code, it's showing only zip. Now check for the shipping date, it shows shipping, and the date is just showing DATE, but E has something, a special character. Now cargo preference, we have the correct. Now in the city we are not getting any data, right? So now this is the challenge. If we are trying to capture the data with the scale 1, then it's not possible to capture all this data. You can try the same thing with let me, now if I'm checking for the address 1, I'm just getting address here. If I am looking for the ship preference, I'm getting the incorrect data. Now so for that I was trying to increase this scale, and you can see now I'm getting somewhat correct data. And if I'm checking for the city here, I am getting this type of data. Now again I am checking for this address 2, I am getting correct. But to capture this city here, you can see I am getting here CIT something like different, right? So I tried to increase the 3, because we need to fetch the correct data. Now you can see I am getting CIT and V, not Y, right? So we have this 3. But if I am going to capture any other data with scale 3, so you can see what's happening. Here we are getting SIP, and here we have the incorrect value, right? So basically when we are going to capture with the scale 1 for this address 2, we are getting correct data, and with the scale 1, if we are going to get the cargo, we are getting incorrect data. We are getting incorrect data for the city. Then for the city we need to increase the scale for 2 3 4, right? So to overcome this issue, I have created one variable, and I tried to start fetching with the scale 2. Here you can see the default value is scale 2, and then I am just putting that value here, that scale 2 here, in a variable, and I am using that variable here, and I am using here OCR profile dot screen. Okay, and then here you can see I try to capture only the correct data, and if I am not getting the correct data, I am trying to increase the scale and capture the correct data. Now here, once we are getting the value in the out demand, then first time the demand found equal to true. Now I'm going to check here the value we found here with the out demand, that is address to, is this. So we are checking here out demand dot lower dot contains add, if it has add, and out demands contains 1. It means if it has a double d and 1 is there, then it will go outside. It means it will go and check if this value has the address there. Yes, it means add is there, but it will go and check and it has 1. No. Then what will happen? It will go to the next condition. And now here we are checking, you can see here out demand dot lower to lower dot contains add and out demand dot contains 2. So if we are getting this add and 2, then we need to go in the 2, we need to go out. So in the here I'm going to show, it means we found the value. So for that we have to go outside here, and we are checking the condition, that is string dot is null or empty out demand or demand found equal to false. So if out demand has no value, it means if it is null or empty, or the demand found equal to false. So if it is true, it means if that out demand value has no value, it means this is empty, or we are checking for the one more, that is demand found equal to false. So it will go and increase one scale plus 1. So on what condition we get this demand found equal to false, I am going to show you here. So here I was checking here, if we are getting the correct value here, then it will go outside, and if while fetching the data, sometime you have seen that we are getting no text found something, right? So that will cause one error message, so it will show an exception. So that's why I put all this step in a try catch, and here I'm catching all this exception here, and then in the catch section I'm putting demand found equal to false. So if the demand found equal to false, it will check here and then go and increase a scale plus 1, right? And then the scale equal to 3, because first time by default the value is 2. So if we are not getting the correct value with the 2 scale, then we are increasing the scale, that will be 3, and then again we are going to check here, and again if we are getting the issue, then it will increase 1. If we are getting the correct value, then we'll go here and we'll start getting the demand details. So here this is to capture these data against all this demand. So for that, first again we are going to check the value which we are getting in the variable out demand. We are checking here that first you can see we have the address 2. So we are checking if out demand dot to lower dot contains add and 1. So if it has, it will go to the capture. If it is no, it is go here, it will go here. So yes, it will go because we have address 2, not address 1, and this is for the address 1. So it is checking here out demand dot to lower dot contains add, yes, and demand dot contains 2. If yes, then it will go to the get text address 2 here, and it will capture this address. So same way what I am doing, if it has the address 1, it will capture address 1, because you know every time this position will be changed. In the round 2, the address 2 will be going somewhere else, and the state will be on the first or somewhere else. So every time this will be changed. So it will go and check one by one. If it has the city, it will go and check here. if it has the state, it will go and check here. If it has the zip code, it will go and fetch that. If that is the cargo, so I'm checking here that lower that contains CAR and out demand less than 8. It means the cargo will be always here less than 8, and here we have 1 2 3 4 5 length. So I'm checking for the length also, because you can see in the cargo preference also we are getting cargo. So that's why we are checking the two things, one for the cargo CAR and the length also, because this length will not be less than 8, this will be more than 14. And the same way we are capturing all this data, and you can see I am putting the counter here in the table row. You can check here, table row equal to single quote double quote plus counter or to string, and this counter is our table row. So this is third, because if first time it will match address to, so it will capture only third row. If it has the fourth row, it means the counter 4, it will capture only fourth row data, right? Same way it will go and capture all these details here. Now after this we are going to increase the counter plus 1, because the first time the default counter equal to 3, because this is our third row. So if it is done with the address 2, then we are increasing the counter plus 1, it means the counter will be fourth. So you can see the counter, the table row is third, and this is the table row 4. So for this cargo, the table row is 4, that's why we are increasing plus 1. So counter will be 4, it means the table row will be 4. So next time it will go and capture the details for cargo, and then again it will try for zip code, then shipping date, then cargo preference, city, address 1. Same, it will increase plus 1, and then we are checking here the counter less than equal to 11, it means the counter 4 less than equal to 11, yes. So again we'll go here in the try catch, we'll check here the counter will be 4, it means we'll go and capture this row data, and then again we'll check here all these details and we'll start capturing this data. Now this is just for the capturing the labels and the data, and then we are going to get the supply details. So in the same way we are capturing the demand details, we are capturing the supply details also. So same here, as you know that this is not the scanned images, we can capture using the anchor base, find element and get full text. And after that I am setting this counter less than equal to 7, because you can see the first time the counter will be, this is 3. So you can see the table row is 3, because this is the table row 1, 2 and 3. So we have to start from CT here. So this is 3, and it will go up to zip code. So the table row will be up to 7 only. You can see the table row 7. So that's why I am checking here counter less than equal to 7. So the default value will be 3. So we are checking if default value 3 less than equal to 7, yes. So we are going to check again the try catch, supply found, the same as demand found. We are first checking supply found true, then using get OCR, using Microsoft OCR engine, and with the OCR profile screen, and the scale we are selecting here by default 2. So first it will go and check, it will capture this data, this CT, with a scale 2 using Microsoft OCR engine get OCR text activity, and then it will have this data in this variable, that is out supply. So what value will get in the out supply? This city, not this details. So once we'll get the city, we are going to check here in the verify out supply, because here we are also verifying that we are getting the correct value in the this variable, because you have seen that sometimes we are getting the incorrect value. Instead of city we are getting CITV, right, not Y. Instead of address 1 we are getting just address. Instead of SIP preference we are getting SIP and then something incorrect value in the preference. So that's why we are verifying that we are getting the correct value in the out supply. So you can see we are checking again that if we are getting out supply dot to lower dot contents add and out supply dot contents 1. So we are checking and. So what will happen? We are telling UiPath to just capture only the data where the that value has the add and 1, not or. So it will go and check. If it has the issue, again it will increase the scale to, but it will try and capture only this data which has the add is there and 1 is there. Same here, it will go and check for the add is there and contents 2. Same here, we have the CIT or CT. Anything will be there, will capture the data. And if we are going at the end, if we are not getting any value, it means the supply found will be false, right? So we'll be going to the the catches. If there is any exception, we are setting the supply found false. And in the try also, if we are not able to verify the data, we are setting the supply found false. So in both the condition, we are checking if the supply found false or the value is null or empty, it will go and increase the scale. So the scale will be 3 because the default value is 2, and if you are getting issue, then the scale will be 3. Then again it will go and capture with the scale 3. So once we found all this data, we will go and get the supply details here, right? You can see we are checking the same things. If that value, the out supply value which we are getting, so in that value are we getting this data that is add and contains 1 number? If yes we are getting, then we'll using the get text activity will capture the address 1. If it is not, then it will go and check if that value has the ADD contents yes, then it will check there if the number 2 is there. If yes, then it will capture the get text 2. Same way, if not, then it will check for the city, because sometime what happens, here we are getting city, sometime we get a state address 2. So that's why every time we are going to capture, we are going to check that are we getting this value address 1. If yes, we'll capture. If not, we're checking address 2. If yes, capture. Not, again check for city. Yes, yes, so we'll capture here because we are getting city, right? So one by one it will increase the counter and then increase the counter and check for the table row 4th, 5th, 6th and 7. So you can see here in the while condition, while we are checking for the counter less than equal to 7, and once the first round is complete, it means the first counter table 3rd is complete. Table 3rd is this, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So city is the 3rd row. So once we are done with the table 3, so we are increasing 1. So now it will go and check for the table row 4, that will be a state. So again it will go and capture the value, verify the details and get the details. After getting supply details, demand details, we need to fill the demand details and the supply details. So you can see the fill demand details. We have all this value in the variable, that is demand name and demand address 2, city, right? So one by one, using type into, we are putting the value here. and here in the state we are using the select item, right? So this is the correct activity to work with the drop down. Now in the cargo preference, you can see here in the cargo preference we are getting permit required, and you can see in the permit required sometimes we get the both checkbox checked, sometimes we get the only urgent checked, sometimes we get permit required checked and this unchecked. So if we are getting this permit required, it means we need to check only this permit required and we need to keep this unchecked. So only this should be, this must be checked. So what we are doing here, we are checking if that cargo preference, the value we are getting, contains permit or required. So if anything we are getting here, if that is permit or required, it means we have the correct value. So we are in the true section, we are taking one check activity to check the permit required, and we are taking another check activity to uncheck the urgent. Here the urgent, you can see here I am choosing the action here, check type dot uncheck. So this will be unchecked and this will be checked. Same way, if it is not the permit or required, it will go to the else, and so if it is not the permit, it means it is the urgent, so it will go and check the urgent. Here you can see it will go and check the urgent, but at the same time it will uncheck the permit required. You can see I am choosing the check type dot uncheck. See, in the both condition we have to check and uncheck both things. Now in the shipping date we are getting the same value, we just capture and fill the same data. Now we have the that is ship preference. So these are the data we have. We need to select one by one radio button. So you can see I am checking here if the ship preference is equal to enclosed. If it is enclosed, then I have taken one activity, that is check activity, to check this enclosed. So if it is strip deck, it will check the strip deck. So first, if it is enclosed, it will click on this radio button. Else, if it is flatbed, it will click on this flatbed. Else we have the strip deck, right? So we are just checking with the two if condition. If it is enclosed, then this. Again we are checking in the else condition. If it is flatbed, it will click on flatbed, otherwise it will click on this strip deck. Now we are going to fill the supply details here, in which we are using the type into activity to type all this data in the supply details. After that, again I am clicking on this zip. Here I am clicking on this zip because this is the fixed value. We'll click on this and then go to top. You can see I am going to the home. It means I am pressing the home button here, so it will go to the top, and then we need to submit the form. So in the submit form, after filling all this data, we need to submit the form. So once we'll submit the form, we'll get one contract number. You can see we are getting a contract number. So we got that contract number, and using anchor based activity, I am capturing this contract number and then I am filling that value contract number in this contract here. So we'll need to capture this and fill this data and create this. So you can see we need to click on create button. After that, the rate points will be +1. So here the rate point variable name, it means you can see the round 2. It means the first rate point has been finished. So now we need to select the rate point 2. So this is just the counter to increase one by one. to complete all these rate points. So I have just given the name rate point. So this will be rate points plus 1. So first time the rate points was 1 here. Now this will be increased plus 1. So this will be rate point 2. So again it will go here, and in the while here it will check the rate point less than equal to 5. It means that currently we have the value 2. So 2 is less than equal to 5. Yes, that is less than equal to 5. Again it will go and follow the same steps. Again it will increase rate point. It will go and check for the rate point 5. 5 is less than equal to yes 5. Again it will go and check, and then at the last it will increase the rate points plus 1. So this will be rate point 6. So 6 less than equal to 5, no. So the loop will be break, and then it will go outside, and then the project will be finished, and then it will show the success rate, your the time the bot has taken to fill all these details, right? And then here you will get finished. So by this way I have captured all these details. I have automated this shortest path RPA challenge. I hope you have also done by this way, but I don't know what steps you have taken and what logic you have applied to capture these demand details and the supply details, and you have filled there. Because as per my understanding, only the issue with the demand labels and the supply labels, like all these names, that is address 1, address 2, city, cargo, state, these are the only challenges. So I will request you to first watch this video and try at your end, and let me know how many of you are able to do this. After looking at your comments, I will think about that. I need to make a video for this or not, because as I have more than 7,800 subscribers, so I will look your comments. I will check how many of you are able to do this RPA challenge. So I hope you like this video. Thank you so much for watching this video.